Hi guys. Oh, thanks. And thanks for sticking to the end. It's the end of the day and you're probably pretty full by now. I'm Kristine from Norway. I work on 3 different workplace platforms, but I'm going to focus on one that's in the work and inclusion sector today. So in these 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you what we have done to design learning that actually sticks and focus on social experiential learning. All right, so the topics I will be covering is the 70-20-10 module. Maybe some of you heard of it before, probably. And I'm going to talk about how leadership plays a crucial role in making learning, driving learning in the workplace. I'm also going to talk about Group Insight, which is a locally developed technical solution. I'm going to show you the implementation guides that we used as a tool for leaders. And then finally, I'm going to share 2 examples from the online courses that we've been making and implementing. Hopefully, it will bring all these other topics together for you guys. No, I'll put it there then. There we go. All right. So to start out with the 70-20-10 module, which is a framework for learning in the workplace. Probably a lot of you already heard about it, but research shows that 70% of the learning that happens in the workplace is done through hands-on, practical stuff, like you're doing it. 20% of the learning in the workplace, that's the social interactions that we do. We talk to each other, we have discussions, we get feedback from each other, and only 10% is from formal learning. And me as an online learning specialist, I love making e-learning, and it's so easy for me to get stuck on the 10%. I can use a lot of time on the 10%, which doesn't really drive learning at all. So we really needed to challenge ourselves to get out of the formal learning part and really start focusing on the 20 and the 70% part, even though we are making online learning. So that's an interesting challenge to take. All right, so we found that focusing on the 70 and 20%, that's good, but that alone is not enough. Leadership is crucial to drive learning in the workplace. So we need leaders to follow up employees' learning journeys. We need them to encourage discussions and teamwork, to talk to each other. And we also want to make sure that leaders facilitate for on-the-job learning, that they can start using the skills that they are learning straight away into the workforce. And I'm not sure about you, but all of us have learned Moodle, right? We're working on Moodle platforms in one way or the other. And when it comes to the 70-20-10 module, I don't know about you, but 70% of what I know is definitely true learning. I can watch videos of how you do it and stuff like that, but that is not why I become pretty good at using Moodle Workplace. It's by doing it, and then talking to my wonderful colleagues and asking them questions and getting them to give me feedback on whatever I do. So I think if we start thinking about ourselves, the 70 and 20%, it really is a thing. All right, so what do we need to make this happen in the workplace? So first of all, we need a Moodle workplace. It's flexible, it's scalable, it's customizable, it's ideal for social and structured learning, right? And then we need a Group Insight, which is a locally developed technical solution that gives managers access to employees' progress and submission within the course. For us, that has been crucial. And then, in all the courses we make implementation guides. So an implementation guide is available to help leaders integrate the course into everyday work life. All right, so let's go in depth in each of them. As I mentioned, from Norway, our beautiful country, and it's a really long country, the length of our country. Like, it's far north, I know, and most people don't really know much about Norway, but it's a really long country. And we have, on the learning platform that I'm working on, which is work and inclusion sectors learning platform, it's AI learning. As you can see, the AI does not stand for artificial intelligence, it stands for the work and inclusion. It's short for work and inclusion. So we have 40 different companies that works on that learning platform and use it. As you can see, and they're all over Norway. They all have their own tenant, and which means that they can make courses themselves, right? So where I come in, and the team I'm working with, we work on the shared part of the Moodle Workplace platform that we make courses with and for the 40 businesses. And as I said, it's a long country. So just to give a perspective, from north to south in Norway, it's the same as if you go to our capital and put a line to Rome, that's the length of our country. And if there's anyone from the US here, from New York to Miami, that's the length. Or if there's any Aussies here, from Melbourne to Brisbane. So we have a really long country, which means that we need the courses we make to be interesting and easily available and easily adaptable for all these different countries. And they work in the work and inclusion industry, which means that they are working with the local industries and workforce all over the country. They're small companies, they're medium-sized, and they're really large companies and organizations. And we need to make sure that they all feel that it's easy to adapt the online courses we make to their business. All right, so let's move on to group insight. I'll put it in my hand. The second really important thing we need is group insight functionality. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a locally developed solution that gives manager access to their employees' submission within a course. So when a leader wants its department, so say this leader here wants everyone in the department to take a HSE course, so health, safety and environment course. She will enroll them in a course and automatically become a teacher without editing role, which means that it will be in a group and she will see whatever she will get that connection with them. And the same for another leader has the same with their group. They put him into the courses and he will automatically be a teacher without editing rights. And for everyone here using Moodle, will know that they will then go into, they can then see whatever they're doing in there. They can go into the quiz responses, the self-evaluations, the reflection notes they're doing, the case reflections they've been doing, or case studies, which give them a really good overview of who of their employees are doing what. And another interesting part is that they easily can go in and see have they actually done what they asked them to do or not. And in Norway, we have something called grandma's law, which means that a grandma always sees the best in her grandchildren. She will kind of point out, oh, you did something really good. And I think this is a great way, not just to see what your employees didn't do, but also if you easily go in, you check the course, you're seeing that, all of these employees have done a really good job on their self-evaluation of a task they were supposed to do. Why not just pop by their desk and say, hey, I read it, that was really great. Not more, but it's so good to feel seen and, appreciated for the work that you actually put in. All right, so that was group insight. And then we have the implementation guides. So, as we all know, leaders don't really have any extra time during the day. It's not like their calendar is free and, and they're not teachers. So their job is not to sit and find out really nice ways to use a course within their employee group. So we want to help them by making sure they have an implementation guide within the course. So, all right, in the course, they then just press the implementation guide. And the first thing we want to put in is the 70-20-10 framework. We want to remind them that, hey, this is important. We know that you can put your employees into like the formal learning, click, 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 do a test, and we can go check. They all know what, the HIC or whatever. But we want to remind leaders that if you want to really enhance the quality and competency of your employees, you need to focus on the 70 and 20%. So just to give them that push. It's just like, as you see, it's very short and summary. We're not going to think that they're going to sit and read for a long period of time. And then, as soon as they read that, they go into individual or group. So they can choose, are they going to implement this for 1 or 2 employees, or are they going to implement this course for like a whole group? If you do only like an individual one, that often happens if, say, you've already done like a HIC course for all your employees in your department, and then you get a new employee, and you just need to get that employee up and going in a HIC as quick as possible. All right, you go and press the individual one. I just need to get a suggestion of how I'm going to go about making sure that that 1 or 2 employees will get the training they need within the course. So as you can see here is a time period, 2 to 4 weeks. Assessment will be 1 hand-in assessment and 2 oral assessments. And then it kind of goes like 1, 2, 3. This is what you do. You just book into the calendar straight away and make an arrangement with that employee. And then we know that when the leader is going to check the hand-in assessment, so say they're going to do module 1 and then like a case study or something like that, which is a written assessment, we know that the leaders don't really know where to go to check out where the assessment, the hand-in is. So we made this one on the side here, how to review assessments. And there it says like, click here, and click here, and then they can go and have a look what their employees have been answering. All right. This one is probably the more normal one, where you go for a whole group. You want all your employees to go through a learning journey. So this is I just want to show you some examples because the layout of them will always be the same as the course layout. So it will be different steps in a learning journey. And then I'm going to just use this one as a sample to talk you through it. So this is a typical one. You can start out with a startup meeting. So just do a Teams meeting if you like, or you can do it in a physical meeting, whatever suits you. But do like 20, 30 minutes. And if the leader were to click at the plus button, they will straight away see the talking points. This is what you should tell your employees. You don't have to do it, but it's just suggestions for how you can go about it. So the leaders doesn't really have to use a lot of time to think about how to do the different meetings and do everything. The second one is, what are the employees going to do before a workshop? And then it says, they're going to set aside 2 to 3 hours in their calendar, and if you click the plus button, they will see exactly what they are going to do, what module are they going to do, and assessments and stuff like that. And then we also put in a reminder for the leader to say, hey, what are you going to do before the workshop? Because they also have to do something. They have to be reminded that they have to go in and actually see the responses. What have your employees actually done before the workshop? Are they prepared? Have they done what you asked them to do? And if you see that there's a few who haven't done it, go by their desk and say, hey, the workshop is coming up in 2 days. Just a quick reminder, it's important that you do it. And then, as you see, is this, then there's the first workshop, approximately 2 hours. And if you press the plus button, you will get this is how you can do the workshop. And it, of course, is always up to the leader, whatever they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Maybe they will say, oh, I can't do 2 workshops. We just have to put them together and do 1 workshop. That's fine. But then they get the suggestions and they can do whatever they like with it. So that was the implementation guide. So to sum it up, and what I want all of you to sit with after this 30 minutes is that if you have a Moodle workplace, which is great, and if we hope that group insight might be like a core thing in Moodle one day, Moodle Workplace. But for us, having the group insight to give the leaders actual, straight into whatever their employees are doing, the direct connection, and the implementation guide as a tool for the leader, all of that together really does enhance social experiential learning. So I just want to show you 2 quick examples. I'm doing all right with time, luckily. All right, so one of the courses we made is motivational interviewing, which is a method that for the work and inclusion industry, this is one of the things that leaders need to report to the National Labour and Welfare Administration, that all our employees have gone through the training, tick, 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 and send a report. And they have to do that frequently, which means that one thing is that you have to check it off, that you actually done it and report on it as a leader, but you also want to invest time that they actually know what they're doing, right? You just don't want them to check something true. So this course, we built that year. There is some e-learning just to show you what is motivational interviewing and how to use it, some tips and tricks. But then the main focus in this course is the workshops. So there's a few workshops, and you're going to use the hours to go 3 and 3 employees together, each get a role, the interviewer, the interviewee, and observer. And you get 30 minutes each for actually doing like practical, real-life scenarios of an interview, which gives the person that's doing the interview and the motivational interviewing get the practice they need for actually doing this in their everyday life. But they also, since they all rotate and all going to go through it, they also get the feel of how is it for someone else using this method on me? Does it feel all right or not? And also, as an observer, you can see what are people doing that's really good and what are they not doing so good. And then they always have these chats afterwards. And that's what you use the time together with. You should never go in for a workshop or a meeting and make sure there's a teacher talking or a leader talking, If you're going to meet up, make sure it really is about testing it all out and being experiential. So this is a great way to do experiential and social learning together. And you get the peer review as well, like getting really good feedback from your colleagues. That's really a great way to enhance your learning. And of course, the leaders get the reports they need within the system so they can hand it in to the National Labour and Welfare Administration. Supported employment is another course that we made. That's like a 5-stage method that has as an aim to explore supported employment, how professional method to identify best practice together with colleagues. And the aim is to, sorry, I was reading the wrong place. Is to help, so supported employment is to help people with disability or other advantages to find and keep ordinary jobs in the labour market, and it's 5 stages that you're going through. So the e-learning is like getting to know each of the 5 stages, but for each of the 5 stages, you learn a little bit about it through e-learning, like 10%. Yes, we need that a little bit. But then you go straight into, as an employee, you're going to test this out. So you get assessments that you're going to go out and test it out in your daily work life, and then you're going to do self-assessment after that. And the self-assessment will be available for your leader, so your leader can check it out and go and give you feedback, or the leader can encourage for employees to talk about their practice and then figure out what's the best practice to do here. And then, again, it's easy for leaders to track the progress of their employees and report on training for everyone. All right. That was 9 minutes to go for questions. That was all I had. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristine. Do we have any questions for Kristine?
Hi, I was interested in leaders accessing the progress of the people under them, giving them non-editing teaching rights and then accessing assignments and the responses they may have given. Do you find that that causes a bit of an issue, just navigating the Moodle interface, accessing individual reports? Are there any ways that you can support the leaders to access that information more easily, generating a report, a summary? Or does no one have a problem? Is everyone okay with it? In which case, please tell me how that works, because definitely doesn't.
So I think the reports and everything, you have that on the leader dashboard. So they're fine with using the leader dashboard to get like the progress. But to get them into the actual course, like I showed you, we have like the click, click, click. And now more and more we even put in a link. Like if you want to check out the assessment, just click here and then go straight into it. And I know some of these 40 different companies, I know what some of them have done is that they have so they have like a custom page, thank you. On the custom page, they use the most used courses that they're going through, say, 2025. And for the leaders, there's a link straight into the assessments. So they can just go, oh, motivational interview, do you want to check out your... And they go straight in. And then the company makes sure that it's only the leaders that had access to that custom page. But yeah, and I understand your question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do we have any other question for Kristine? Okay, if you want to chat one-on-one, she will be here. Oh, sorry, I was confused. So if you want to have a one-on-one with Kristine, she will be here for a couple of minutes. So come back and meet her. If not, let's give her another round of applause. Thank you so much.